Hello, friends. This is Mike from Right Minded, and this episode of Mike Tries is the goddamn first practice test of the digital SAT. This is going to be my first practice test. I have looked at some of the sample questions and stuff that they've released, but this is going to be the first time I'm taking a timed practice test in the Blue Book UI, experiencing the digital SAT content. And so I'm doing this video recording partly for my own purposes so that I can look back at it and see what I need to get better at. And partly as like a before picture for my students because I'm not anticipating getting a 1600 on this test. In fact, it would be unfortunate if I got a 1600 on this test because surely there are things that I need to get better at. This is a new format. The time management is different, the UI is different, the concepts that they're covering are different, and so surely there are elements of the new version of the SAT that would trip me up. It would be better if this test revealed ASAP all of those various things. Um, so hopefully this experience will, I don't know, humanize test educators, for my students, it's very likely that this will be your diagnostic test. So hopefully you can look at this video and be like, Mike was not acing shit at the beginning too. And also just to model my process for how to get better at these things. This right here, what we're about to witness is what it looks like at the beginning of the process. Obviously I'm expecting to do pretty well. I've been taking and teaching tests professionally for a pretty long time. But I imagine that I'll like certainly at least one question wrong and maybe more, like three or four or five, especially in the math, if they're covering new concepts. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to like reflect about my state of being. Let's see, look at this. Yeah, so I encourage you to do this as well, but these are just my self-reflection on my set and my setting and how I'm doing today, the environmental factors that might influence me and the version of myself that I'm bringing to the test. So, I like to give myself a rating out of 10 overall, overall in terms of like how not how well prepared you are in terms of content, but like how good of a version of your current self are you bringing on test day. I think that is about 7 out of 10 for me today. I like to get a ton of sleep. I like to get 9 hours of sleep a night, and I didn't sleep perfectly last night. And I've been a little tiny bit underrested for the past few weeks, but I'm pretty solid. 8 hours average is pretty solid. I've certainly been more sleep deprived in my life. For breakfast, I had a like solid, big, healthy breakfast. Healthy. I had a solid, big breakfast. Call it, 3 hours ago, so it's not sitting heavy in my stomach. But I'm not acting on nothing. And then be honest with yourself about the substances that are in your body and acting on your brain. So for caffeine, I had a cup of tea this morning. I usually have a cup of tea in the morning, so that's normal. And I've got a little yerba mate. This is caffeinated. I'm going to be sipping on this throughout the test. This matches my normal caffeine intake, so I don't expect myself to be especially jittery or under awake. Because if you're a 2 coffee a day drinker and then you don't drink any caffeine, you might expect yourself to be a little more tired. I'm pretty normal with respect to my typical caffeine intake. Uh, I am also on my normal doses of meds, which again is just important to be honest about. I take antidepressants and I take Adderall for my ADD. I am on the normal amount of those drugs. I didn't skip days, nor did I like YOLO double the dose for today. I'm just doing my norm. I'm living my normal life. Um, I had one drink last night. Sorry, everyone. I drank a glass of wine with dinner last night, and that's potentially relevant. I think actually, even in small amounts, that does have effects on your cognition. And with respect to other drugs, meth and heroin and weed is actually maybe a more reasonably notable one. I've been sober from all of those things for long enough that it's not likely that they're going to be influencing my cognition, bringing that into the test. Cool. So in terms of my activation, this is like your stress level, like how amped are you? It's possibly over amped, to be paralyzed with anxiety or fear, or just like jittery with overexcitement. It's also possibly under amped, to feel often sleepy or tired or not able to focus. I'm a good level of amped right now. I am a tiny bit nervous. Like, what if I do poorly? I'm going to upload this no matter what, you know. But mostly I'm stoked. And I feel pretty confident, which is good to feel coming into a test. But also, like, yeah, I think it would be funny and like a lasting historical like piece of evidence if I just get wrecked by this test. I think that would be hilarious. Um, in terms of my mood, my emotions, am I having a good day or am I having a bad day? Did I get in a fight with my family recently? Or like, did my friends just give me like a big party in my honor and I'm feeling like beloved? I'm doing normal. I'm in a good mood right now. Sometimes I'm not normal. Sometimes I'm depressed because I suffer from depression. I'm not suffering from depression right now. So that's a good thing and worthy of note. And physically, I don't have a headache. I feel in good health. I don't have lower back pain. My hands aren't cramping. These various things. Good to be grateful for as well. Going into the test, it's important to make hypotheses. How are you going to approach the test? What's your strategy going into it? And then what are you anticipating the outcomes of that strategy to be? So in this test, the like one thing that has changed is that the each section is reliably organized. The questions in each section, this is true for the reading, writing, and for the math. Each section is reliable. The questions are reliably organized from easiest to hardest. That's what they've written in the test specifications. And also, unlike the previous test where there are big reading passages or big writing passages, about which there are like tons of questions for each passage. Instead, it's a lot more like the logical reasoning from the LSAT, where it's individual questions, tons of individual questions based on separate passages. That changes the game in terms of how you can approach reading and writing and the math. And one strategy that I actually am pretty likely to use later on is to move backward through the sections, to start with the very hardest questions, give those questions the time that they deserve at the point where you're not scared of running out of time, and then to run out of time potentially on the easier questions where, if I have to do shortcuts, like to make my best guess, etc., I'm more likely to be able to get those right because they aren't as tricky. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm not going to move backward through any of the sections. I'm just going to go forward through all the sections. This test is skill adapted or performance adapted, which is to say that both the reading and writing and the math sections are split up into two different modules, and based on your performance on one or the other module, based on your performance in module one, you're going to get, there's two different versions of the test you can get. There's a hard version and an easy version, That said, each of the modules are split equally in terms of time and in terms of the number of questions. I want to double check this. For the reading and writing, each module is 32 minutes and features 27 questions. That's a little bit more than a minute per question. And for the math, each module is 35 minutes with 22 questions, a little bit more time per question, but still really not that much time per question. They were making a big deal out of how this is going to be a less time pressured test. I don't know, man. That's actually that's a lot. The logical reasoning in the LSAT, for example, is 35 minutes long for like 25 questions. The reading and writing here is faster paced than that. And the logical reasoning is pretty goddamn fast paced. Anyway, given that it's skill adapted, the first module is supposed to be a mix of easy, medium, and hard questions. Some are easy, some are really hard. But what I'm anticipating is that, hopefully I'm going to do well enough in module number one that the second module is going to be the hard one. And my thought is that if I have the same amount of time to do the same number of questions, but they're all harder, that module number two is probably going to be the one where if I'm going to run out of time, that's where I'm going to run out of time. So going into module 2 thinking to myself like, don't run out of time, bro. I don't know. Maybe potentially more willing to not double check answers as much or to mark questions for review just in case I run out of time. So anticipating places where I am likely to, like, this is just me anticipating my outcomes. I'm expecting, I'm not sure whether they're going to actually give us scaled scores out of 1600. We'll get to that when I'm checking my score, because they're not going to show us inside the app. We're going to have to go to the internet to my SAT and log in and then see the results there. And it's not clear whether they settled actually on a system for converting like how many questions you got right into the scaled score out of 1600. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get a score there, but roughly estimating or assuming that I do get a score there, I'm anticipating like a 1500 at the minimum. I would be not. I would be embarrassed if it got lower than a 1500. And on the high end, like maybe I could see myself acing this test, but that would be like a fluke because I got lucky about the concepts. And more likely, as I mentioned previously, I'm probably looking at missing like 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 4 questions on the math. The math is one where like legit, I just like only know SAT math, like old SAT math. I don't know any other math. So if they bring up new math that wasn't on the old SAT, I'm probably not going to get it right. So we'll see how much of that happens. And the reading and writing should be very in my wheelhouse. I mean, like, I should be able to ace the reading and writing -0, to 2, call it, in the reading and writing, even though it's a new format or whatever. Maybe I get punished on time management. I can see that. Missing a couple questions because I've taken too long. It has been a while since I've taken a time pressure test, so I could get punished on timing, especially again in module 2. So these are the results that I'm sort of anticipating. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll this down, get my scratch paper set up. This is what I'm going to be using for my scratch paper. If you're taking a real test, you're going to have to use paper and pencil scratch paper. I was considering doing that, but this is just going to look better for the video, so I'm just going to use this. Right, so shit. Oh boy. Okay, let's actually start this. I'm going to click on full length practice, and I'm not going to give much commentary. I mean, this is not going to be me like talking through the test. This is going to be me trying to fucking do well in the test. So maybe I'll make another video reviewing this experience. But feel free to skip through this shit because this might just be boring. All right, practice test 1. All right, first module, reading and writing, 32 questions, 27 minutes. Okay. By no means posh on this case. He had to say posh, but this other thing. By no means unimportant. It's not a bad thing. So it's going to eventually do it, but we don't know when because of this reason. They tried, and they could, yeah. It's a general phrase. Evolutionary links between things can persist. It's exemplified by these things. Okay. So it's 3 minutes, 4 questions. Okay, I'm ahead. So these people think that it's focusing just on short term. Probably not that specific. Her feelings were strong, but she knew how to govern them. Argues with her mother but fails to change her mind. Counselor of her mother. Overly sensitive. Does she think that now? Remarkably mature for her age. Though only 19. Boom. Great. Her acquaintances avoided her. They wanted to avoid her. Her frankness is startling. Refrain from discussing topics. I'm doing too much double checking that. I'm like, D's right. I stay awake thinking about you. Strength in question. They claim that inducing fermentation of lectins using active lactose improves the digestibility of beans, makes them more nutritious. It's going to do that by fucking with these or these. When cooked, more trypsin inhibitors is bad. Can I do this? It's bad. Can I select this? Okay, cool. Less soluble fiber in raffinose. Good. Reduction in trypsin inhibitors and tannins. That's right. Ablation rates for 3 elements in cosmic dust. The fuck is ablation? Wow. Lower rate than the same material and faster moving things. So the average rate for iron in one of these is higher. Same material and faster moving things. Iron AST is low, iron HTC is high. Good. Illustrate decline. Economic policy uncertainty. How uncertain? Really? Tax and public spending policy, trade policy, general economic policy, more uncertainty in general. Oh, general economic policy uncertainty. A general measure may not fully reflect uncertainty about specific areas. Like in 2010, how tax and public spending was way bigger than trade. Closely in 2005, it didn't. That's not true. Was substantially lower than trade policy in 2005, yes, and substantially higher than uncertainty about trade policy in 2010, yeah. Okay. 21 minutes left, not quite halfway, so I'm doing okay. I need checkpoints. The hypothesis is that because they hibernate alone, squirrels hibernate alone, longer bouts of torpor, shorter arousal episodes. Longer bouts of torpor, which is correct. Shorter arousal episodes. Both correct. That's not true. That doesn't support the hypothesis. Shorter torpor bouts and longer arousal episodes than the Arctic ground squirrels did. So the longer bouts of torpor. Marmots, shorter. Shorter arousal episodes, longer arousal episodes. Okay. Oh, so many of these. Employment by sector. France, US. Agriculture, manufacturing, services. Complete the statement. Happen at very different rates. Agriculture, same Z's, huge employment by sector in both countries. 1900, 1950. This went way up, this went way up. This didn't change much. Agriculture went down, service went up. This transition happened at services going up pretty evenly, huge jump. Services going up pretty evenly. Agriculture going down, huge jump. Agriculture going down, the huge jump is here. (1950 to 2012). It's going to be mostly comparing the employment by sector in both countries. Different rates. Where are the numbers most different from each other? There we go. 1900, 1950. Might have been overthinking that. I should come back to that. Halfway. Fuck. This is hard. Saving native vegetation. Grammar. Oh, these are faster. In 2011, these two writers joined forces to found Cake Literary, a book packaging company that specializes in the creation. In 2019, okay. They were exhibited on 150. In two, remember to visit after two, remember what into they were, those two were, it was the essays praising. Won acclaim for her powerful short stories, novels, and essays, praising her praising praising her lyrical yet unflinching depictions of her maiden country's turbulent history. Writer Robert Anthony has compared. She's won acclaim for the stuff and her essays. Praising her lyrical blah, this guy compared her to blah. Let's mark that. That was hard. Bounce out, bounce out, bounce out, bounce out. He was the first up. His energetic gestures announcing when the player had struck out and his habit of barreling after a hit ball to see if it would land out of bounds helped transform the traditionally solemn role into a random one. Her 2014 novel, This, for instance, is a complex retelling of the story of Snow White, while her 2019 novel, Blah, offers a delicious twist. In the shape of a traditional violin, flattening some of the instrument's curves and making it lighter overall. The violin. Musician Stradivari introduced changes to the shape of a traditional violin, flattening some of the instrument's curves and making the instrument lighter overall. Antiquity, however. It wants a colon, but semicolon will work. This will be the first correct semicolon. They were not the first in England to adopt the literary modes of classical antiquity, however. Some of the most prominent figures of the earlier Renaissance were also influenced by these people. What the fuck are these? Transition question. That said, so one poll said that he lost really bad. Only 21% rated him the winner. But even though that's true, the debate was ultimately considered a victory for him because he won on TV. Okay. And more than 2 minutes per question? So I'm way ahead. Okay. She was having a great time doing a bunch of shit, but she still wanted to return to her childhood home. More transitions. He challenged prevailing views about how natural landscapes influence human cultures. He did this. Specifically, he argued that instead of being shaped entirely by their cultures, play an active role in their own development. Challenge prevailing views. Not therefore not fine. Furthermore, still consequently next. As a result, they're way too deep beyond their reach. So by 1852, lots of people gave up and went to work for a big company. Rhetorical synthesis. Present the study and its conclusions. Okay. They studied cat bones. Old. They ate a lot of grain. Maybe they were domesticated. These old ass cat bones looked grainy and therefore maybe domesticated. We want the study and the conclusions. That's right. Not conclusions. Not conclusions. 2013 analysis of cat bone fragments found here suggests that cats there may have been domesticated a long time ago. This is cool. Yeah, this is cool. I really like these questions. Emphasize a difference. In the origins, 2 words. Emphasize a difference. Man, these are cool questions. Easily teachable. Difference in the origins of these 2 words. These 2 words. This is tempting but wrong because it doesn't emphasize the difference. Lots to say there. Not origins. Not emphasis. This is question 27. All right. I ended 5 minutes early. Okay. percentage population employed in the agricultural sector has declined over the past 200 years from 1800. While employment in the service sector has risen. Look at that go. This transition happened at very different rates in the two countries. This can be seen most clearly by comparing the employment by sector in both countries in this year with the employment by sector in this other year. So in 1900, it's like 43-28, and this is 41-31, pretty similar. In 1950, it's 32-35 versus 14-53, very different. 1800, they're close, and 1950, they're fucking, oh no, whew. And 2012, they're also close. In 1900, 2012, you need to mention 1950, that's where they're different. Okay, I feel better about that. I'll leave this marked. And this is right. American writer Edgeways Danticat, who emigrated from Haiti in 1981, has won acclaim for her powerful short stories, novels, and essays. Praising her lyrical yet unflinching depiction of her native country's surreal history, writer The Sturz has compared her to Toni Morrison. All right, so, I mean, I've got extra time. I finished early. In hindsight, I should have. This is a bunch of reading questions. These take longer, and the end is just a bunch of grammar questions, which take way less long. I was panicked for too little reason. There's a chance that I missed something early because I was going too fast. But I feel like this is the question that I might get wrong. In one of the sample questions, there was an answer choice that was wrong because it just stated facts. It didn't emphasize the difference. It just stated things that are different. That question was about similarity, but it's the same thing. The wrong answer choice just described two things that are similar and didn't emphasize it, and that was wrong. Final word is of Anglo-French origin, while the following year's final word so this emphasize a difference in the origins of the two words. That's a difference. But this says that the linguistic origins are diverse. It doesn't name the difference. It doesn't say that one is Greek and one's Latin. I'll be pretty pissed if this is the right answer because it doesn't seem consistent with their sample. I'll also be kind of pissed if this is the right answer, though. I could see tons of people getting this wrong. In fact, like, I feel like if I hadn't seen the sample, I would be picking this. I feel like most kids would pick this. Am I, like, overthinking it? We'll see. All right. Time for module number 2, and maybe we'll just approach it with the same pacing. Yeah. I ended 5 minutes early. Okay. Recognizable is right. Harder to see, so you need to contrive. Mammals weren't very predatory. Localized is far spread. Yeah, I mean, I'm also going to be more liberal marking things. Fine art and fashion rarely are together. They rarely do. No, they rarely together. That's right. Falls short. Remote. Far away. Great. Extensive, universal, pragmatic, controversial. Probably expensive. Look at all the shit she did. That was fucking 8 vocab questions. He's like, oh shit, this is pretty real. He doesn't claim to know what the crowd wants. He doesn't want to speak to them. He's and with such unanimity. I never heard such something before. At this time of morning too, with such unanimity. He describes them as being united, even though the crowd clearly appears otherwise. We roared, but whether it was also bread, some said taxes, nobody seemed to know what it was they really wanted. They aren't united. Right, I mean, I feel like that's right. Strengthen. Students claim. They have lots of ethnographic value. They have great ethnographic value. Look at all that ethnographic value. They are good pictures. People liked him. Yeah, that's a weekend. Okay, that's fine. Illustrates the journalist claim. It can be difficult for artists who are often used to having soul control. Working together can be difficult for people who like soul control. Sure. No, that's fine. No, no. First collective I joined included lots of people. We liked each other, but because we had a hard time sharing credit and responsibility for our work, the collective didn't last. Yeah, that sounds right. Support the hypothesis. Strengthen. Sharks down, oysters down. Sharks eat rays, which eat oysters. That's the wrong way. Kauno's rays have gone way up as dusky sharks have decreased. So there's a decline in dusky sharks, hella more rays, and they're eating a bunch of oysters. Yeah. There's horrible sawing in the background. I hope you can't hear that. Support his argument. More strengthen. So the other people, Espinoza, thought it was mostly Spanish. But this person was like, yeah, there's some Spanish, but it's mostly American shit. Support Paredes, yeah. clearly recent origin, mainly project ongoing interactions of various cultures in Mexico and the United States. So for sure not that. Similar elements. That would cut the other way. I mean, I think D is right. Must be true. So like they're acting healthier than they are because of these things. Not honest signaling. Are those good? Carotenoids, they confer health benefits. They're not less effective for signaling fitness. They're less effective at honestly signaling fitness. Suggesting that maybe other animals like it too. Not threatening. Significant preference for the image. Yeah. Learned rather than innate. No. No. Okay. Yeah, that's straightforward. Book production costs less, but those costs are less after this stuff. Other consumer goods. Fewer copies of each type. That wouldn't make sense. The decreased costs have been most significant in the other process. So the costs of these were less affected by the technologies used than were the costs of manufacturing and distributing. That causal connection is tenuous. It didn't make it easier for authors to write very long works. He's probably right. I'm on to grammar, 10 questions left with 16 minutes left, so I'm way ahead. Okay. use the chemical compound aluminum oxide to make a glassy solid that can withstand higher strain than silver glass before. Recently, engineer Bob Tampered used the chemical compound or have been worries. Hey, no, Tim. Interestingly, the triangle representing the mountain itself is or was has where these are all plural. This is agreement. Biologist. I bet it's this. Or this. Plant cell biologist this showed that lipid molecules called these are responsible for signaling guard cells to open stomata. In a pivotal 2007 article, plant cell biologist Yuri Lee showed you don't need these commas. Showed that lipid molecules called are responsible. Yeah. The fuck are these? Can I get bigger? Punctuation. Food. They determined why some soil-dwelling ground verbs move opposite. In the northern hemisphere, the magnetic field moves down as the ground in the southern hemisphere moves up toward the surface and away from the forest food sources. You need a hard pause. That's good. Why? In the northern hemisphere, it points down, but in the southern hemisphere, it points up. This needs to be a sentence. That's pretty good. 6 left? 7 left? These researchers were shocked to realize that the shape of each statue's ears, like the shape of each person's ears, the shape is unique. The shape, not are, unique. Each statue's ears, the shape, singular, the shape were unique. Yeah. Okay. That was pretty good too. Hopper's subsequent career would involve more than just equations, though. As a pioneering computer programmer, Hopper would help usher in the digital age. Transitions. What is it? 4 or 5 transition questions in 11 minutes. Okay. Oh, but rhetorical synthesis is coming. broadly speaking, they result from the sun's activity. Specifically, it does this specific shit. It releases charged particles that are captured by the particles collide with atoms and causing the stuff. Additionally, some members are like, don't televise it for this reason. Also, this other reason. For example, no, this is an additional thing, not an example. So there's 2 rhetorical synthesis questions, 3 transition questions, 4. The more diverse and wide-ranging an animal's behaviors, the larger and more energy-demanding the brain tends to be. So from an evolutionary perspective, if you only do basic shit, you should allocate fewer resources to doing brain stuff. So it's not afterward, it's not anyway, and it's not despite this. It's so. Hey, rhetorical synthesis. Emphasize the duration and purpose of the work. I swear to God. What does the word emphasis mean here? What do you need in order to emphasize? Because it's just mention duration and purpose. That's really different. And in the sample, they really care about emphasize the duration and purpose. All right. They founded museums to different museums in the same state at the same time. Historian, duration, purpose. Also relevant information from the notes. Duration. Purpose. Preservationist. Preservationist. Preservation. I'm feeling better about the previous one. The duration, not of the people, the duration of their work. That's going to be interesting to look back at. I'm not going to have time to go there. Emphasize the aim of the research study. The aim of the research study is to figure out what factors affect lizard clutch size. How many eggs do lizards lay at a time? More eggs in crazier places. Shorter windows. That emphasizes the aim. The aim of the research study. Researchers wanted to know which factors influence lizard egg clutch size, because such factors have been well studied in birds, but not in lizards. Yeah. Not the aim of the study. The aim, it's like not the results, it's the aim. Yeah, this is cool. So it's like, hey, fucking check your work, dude. Easy to observe in human, but it's less easy to observe. Yeah. They weren't all this one specific kind of thing. There are lots of other kinds. They could do all sorts of shit, diverse. He claims to know what the crowd wants. He doesn't. He doesn't indicate a desire to speak to the crowd. He doesn't understand. So that's the best way. Okay. Based on a recent series of interviews, it can be difficult for artists who are often used. Working together can be difficult. We're used to having self-control. Collective didn't last. Yeah, I'm fine with that. There's harder ones. Ongoing interactions in Mexico and the United States. Yeah, if it's recent, um, then it isn't Spanish. That's clean. Tanager, dishonest signal. Yeah, if it's most significant in that phase, then it's more than that. Yeah, food while in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, okay, it doesn't work. It's a run on any other way. These researchers were shocked to realize that the shape of each statue's ears, the shape of their ears, like the shape of each person's ears, is unique. The shape, one of them, is unique. They should do this, and maybe we can test it. Yeah, okay. So, pretty sure this is right, but like, yeah, these seem to be. Oh, we have enough time to. It seems really to turn on mentioning explicitly whatever's in the prompt, the duration and purpose of the work. You don't need to, it's not just presenting the facts, They're emphasizing the purpose. They're just saying, fuck. I want to go look back at the other one. Because in the sample questions, there's one that's like, you want to emphasize the similarity of two things. And the wrong answer just says what they are. Thing one, here's thing one is this, thing two is this. And even though those things are similar, it's wrong because it's not emphasizing that similarity. And yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take a 10-minute break. We'll see if I want to cut this out of the video. Maybe I'll do a little bit of like reflecting. I mean, I actually kind of want to take a fucking break. Oh, I should mentally prep for the math. Okay, the math is 2 modules, 35 minutes in each module, 22 questions each. Let's do some math on that. 35 minutes for 22 questions is 1.6 minutes, 1.6 minutes per question. That's actually pretty good. So the one thing that was notable about that reading was like, okay, first, huge pro tip is just that like elimination mode. You click that little button that lets you cross answer choices out. You can still select things. So the first thing you should do is just click that goddamn button so that you have access to the ability to gray shit out. Because it doesn't limit you in any way, it just adds functionality. So that's one thing. Yeah, the time in the reading was, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like so obviously it starts from easy to hard. So you're starting with quick questions, but both of those modules started with vocab questions and then went to the like longer form, like complete the argument to support the claim type questions. So it's like fast questions, then slow questions. And then there was like graphs, a shit ton of graphs in the first one. Were there a similar number of graphs in the second one? I feel like fewer graphs in the second one, but maybe I'm just not remembering well. And then in the writing, it switched to just straight grammar questions, punctuation and shit. They seem to literally just be testing punctuation and agreement. I mean, they gotta. Those questions were substantially less diverse than the questions in the grammar section of the old test. But I, I don't know why they wouldn't just continue to pull from the diverse range of questions they could ask. Like, I don't know. I think they should do that, or I wouldn't put it past them to do that. Um, you start with these like straight up punctuation questions, easy to hard, the subject verb agreement stuff, pronoun clarity stuff. Then you moved into transition questions, and then you do 2 rhetorical synthesis questions in each module. Rhetorical synthesis is dope. I really like it. All right, I'm gonna take a fucking break. Okay. I'm gonna lower the volume on my headphones a little bit. Shit, I probably should have done that earlier. I was kind of blowing it out, probably. Um, okay. What did I notice? I noticed a thing. Oh yeah, don't eat or drink in the test room is interesting. I need to start my tablet up. Like they're not gonna let you bring water into the test room. You have to physically leave the test room in order to drink your water, maybe? Oh no, I'm all out of my like comfort drink. I'm gonna get through this. That's a little sad. I was like pretty stoked taking those little delicious sips. Mm. All right. I'm honestly kind of a little bit worried about this section because, nope. Sorry, this. Because, like, oh, fuck. What do I worry about? I worry that this isn't going to be enough space to do shit. I'm going to scroll down and just liberally use, yeah, this. I'm just going to use this kind of like scratch paper. All right. Yeah, so for that reading section, you know, maybe I missed, what was it, the last question or the second to last question from the first module. You know, that's one that if I miss it and it was A instead of D, I won't be surprised. You know, I'll be that like first blush like offended, you know, and that process will teach me something about the way the test is structured, you know, the way those questions are. Because, you know, it seems like I thought that I had it dialed, but maybe not. Um, I will say though, you know, before I get the answers, like any of those other questions that I missed, literally everything but that one, I don't have any excuses for that. Like it didn't seem to present content that was new and beyond me. Um, in previous videos, I was talking about how the reading is just the logical reasoning portion of the LSAT. And one interesting thing is that it seems like, because the LSAT will ask you like weakening questions, like, oh, which of the following things would um, undermine the claim from the researcher or would most call the claim into question? And it seems like they were only asking strengthening questions. So that's something interesting too. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to write. I'm gonna do a lot of writing. I'm gonna have to basically have this here. Oh God, and using the fucking calculator, I need to zoom to 100. Okay, I'm gonna resume testing, and we're gonna go. Oh, this is horrible. Oh my God. 4 fours, 3 eighths, 2 thirteenths. 4 fours, 3 eighths, 2 thirteenths. Number frequency. 4 fours. 8 threes. No. I'm taking way too long. 16 fours. No. Frequency table. This is new. Okay. Okay. Right. Factored this. Okay. 8 and 5 plus 8 minus 5 plus 8 minus 5 plus 8 minus 5 minus 8 plus 5. 10 and 4 add up wrong. Okay. 3 miles per hour for some number of walking hours plus 5 miles per hour for some number of running hours is 14 miles. Because this is miles. Hours, this is miles, this is miles, this is miles. 3W plus 5R is 14. Weird. Like, this is like mind gaming me. It's not that hard. It's a triangle, so it's... Please let me click buttons, dude. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god, dude. This bug. Can I click? Jesus Christ. 180 minus 17 minus 52. 111. Does that make sense? Yeah. Minus 52. 128. 128 minus 17. Come on. Yeah, 111. A, B, C needs to be 180. It's 111. Okay. Fucking calculator, dude. The graph represents the total charge in dollars by an electrician for X hours of work. Electrician charges 1 time fee for the hourly rate. So this is the slope of the graph. It's the hourly rate. No. 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 Okay. Table summarizes the distribution of color and shape for 100 tiles of equal area. Red square, blue pentagons, yellow pentagons, total. Okay. Red tile. 30 out of 100. Red, there is 30 red out of all of them. 3 over 10. Or 0.3, but fucking 3 over 10. 3 over 10. 30 out of 100. Sure, let's just, I'm going to be liberal in what I mark. Okay, so 1,000 were chosen at random. 35% of people support. Total number of people who support. So 35% of 50,000 times 0.35. 17, you need to be near 17. This. Yeah, because it's like, 32% is, yeah, okay. Total number of people who support it, that. Okay. Collapse left. No, collapse right. So why the fuck is this so small? Eleven and 5. 11 times 5 is 5. 11 minus 5 is 6. The positive solution is 5. It's 5 and negative 11 because I'm not going to fuck this up. Plus 6 minus 55. Positive negative 11, positive 5, it's 5. Okay. Linear 1. Altitude and time, it's a decreasing linear equation. Copy paste? Copy paste? Copy paste? No, okay. Is this not clever? Is it 10? It looks like 10. Am I being clever here? Is it 11? Is it 12? Fuck. Okay. So we have to confirm this algebraically. Okay, so it's 11. I thought I was being smart. Y equals, oh, so what happens when, I'm so stupid. 11, 1, 12, x is 0. This is 11 times 1. It's fucking 11. God damn it. Okay, so that was not a good use of, I could totally be careless there. All right, that was 10 questions, which is fucking almost halfway, and I've got way more than, okay, I'm doing well on time, but it's going to get harder. The circle shown as the circumference det. Diameter is these. The length of arc PS is twice the length of P. This is twice that. Ooh. Length of QR, it's the same as PS. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Oh. So, I'm going to draw a circle. I'm just going to recreate this, right? This is one where it's like, shit, I wish I could fucking draw it on the thing. S, R, P, Q, 144 pi. These are both diameters. PS, this is twice the length of PQ. So this is X, this is 2X, this is X, this is 2X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6X equals 144 pi. So X equals 144 divided by 6. 24. Could have known that. X equals 24 pi. So they're asking about what is the length of QR. That's 2x, so that's 48 pi. All right, that one's worth reviewing. Okay. All right, area is length times width. Area equals x times x minus 15. It's 676 equals x squared minus 15x. X squared minus 15, x minus 76. Can I solve this easily? 0 equals x squared minus 15, x minus 76. Is that just going to solve it for me? No. But it will, I will be able to do this and just find it. Yeah, so the solutions are, there's a negative one and a positive one. And the positive solution is 19. The idea is that it's going to be x minus 19, x plus something. Well, what's 76? 76 divided by 19. The idea is that the solutions are 19 and 4. So x is negative 4 and positive 19. So, it should be just that x is 19. But we're going to double check. Oh, well, no, because it's 19 units long and 4 units wide, and 19 times 4 is 76. So the length is 19. Okay. Potentially, I figure I could do that right, but. I want it to be, the amount she has in the account is 604 times something to the amount of years. So it's this. Yeah, that seems too easy. At how many points do these graphs intersect 1? Because they don't have the same slope. That feels too easy. Y equals x plus 20. Y equals it. That one feels too easy. Maybe not, though. More points is a red token than a green token. 40 more points. Red tokens are worth fucking 45. Green tokens are worth 5. Red tokens are worth 40 more points. Yeah, okay. That's a good careless error, I think. It's going to double every day. It's the baseline number, and it's going to double every day. So there's this many, and it's going to be times fucking 2 for that many amounts of time. It's not going to get times by that, and it's not going to fucking get cut in half, so, okay. All right, don't fuck diameters up. R is 4 and H is 12, and so volume equals, what is it? Pi R squared H. So volume equals, so these are in pi, so this is 16 pi times 12. So it's 12 times 16, 12 times 16 is 192, and that. Let's go a little faster here. Yeah, I'm playing it too. Whoa, I have way too much time. Whoa. A system of equations questions, a straightforward one. This one's going to be solvable using the addition subtraction method. I thought that was, so I'm just going to multiply the bottom one by 3. 6x plus 6y equals 30. Now I'm going to subtract 7 minus 6y, 28 minus 30, negative 2. Y is negative 2. We could double check that, but I'm not going to. Might do it later. In triangle this one, cosine of k is that. And j is a right triangle. Cosine of L. All right, this is harder trig than has previously been on the tests. Not that much harder. All right, let's say, oh, that's fucking not a right angle, but okay. J is a right angle. K and L are here. Cosine of K is 24 over 51. What's the value of cosine of L? So I'm going to actually have to, this is not sine of L, it's legit cosine of L. All right, so x squared plus fucking 24 squared equals 51 squared. Probably a better way of doing this. 24 squared, 576 equals 51. Maybe 51 squared is something like really friendly though. I mean, like, or sorry, this minus that is friendly. 2601. 2601. Can I click? Oh my fucking god, dude. 2601 minus 576. 2025. Oh, that has a square root. X squared equals 2025. Square root of that is something. Square root, haha, 2025, 45. Wow, that's convenient. Okay, so this is 45. So this is 45. So the cosine of L is 45 over 51. I mean, there's lots of these that are, I didn't get that one, no. Minimum. Cool. We want the vertex. First, we're going to divide everything by 4. F of x equals x squared minus, come on, Mike. Oh, shit. 50 divided by 4 isn't clean. It's 25 over 2. For what value of x does f of it? Shit! This is the, 126 over 4. I feel like this is like the negative b over 2a then. And I'm going to get punished for not knowing that. 126 over 4. 31.5. Yeah, it's like... Isn't it like negative b over 2a? What is this? Negative b was 50 over 2a over 8. And that's, what is it? 50 over 8. Is that going to be the x-intercept of the, or the... For what value of x does f of x... Oh, and we... Okay, so we can't double check. Well, first off, hopefully it's 6.25. Like, I feel like I just do not remember that trick. I'm so shitty at the directrix and stuff. But, what I'm not bad at is putting things into Desmos. So... when is it going to reach its minimum? Well, it looks like it's going to reach its minimum right between these two x-intercepts, which are at, is this 3? Here's 2, whoa, 2, 3.5, 4, 9. It's right smack between 3.5 and 9. I'm going to use the average tool. Just like for funsies. 3.5, 9. No. Whoa. 6.25. Whoa. So maybe I remembered that right after all. We're going to come back to that one. You can derive that trick. So I can double check. In the xy plane, line L passes through the point 0, 0, and is parallel to the line represented by this equation, so it's a slope of 8. If line L also passes through the point 3, comma, D, what is the value of D? Right, okay, so, man, fuck this. Okay. All right, L passes through 0, 0, and it is it's parallel to that line, so it has the same slope. So y equals 8x plus 0, because the y-intercept is 0. So y equals 8x. It also passes through the point 3, comma, D, which is to say when x is 3, don't fuck that up, x is 3, 8 times 3, 24, the value of D is 20 fucking 4. This kind of question, it's like, feels too easy. Probably I got it right, but worth just literally doing twice, because, wow, I'm going to have so much extra time. We're literally just doing twice. In the case that I 8 times 3, did 8 times 3 wrong or something like that. In the xy plane, align with the equation 2y equals c for some constant intersection. Ah! This is similar to a sample question that involves this stupid fucking directrix. Okay. Y equals 1. Oh, let's go down here. All right. Y equals 1/2 c for some constant c. And because it's going to intersect this parabola at exactly 1 point, that means the directrix of that fucking parabola is 0, which is to say b squared minus 4ac for that equation is 0. B is 9, so 9 squared, that's 81, minus 4 times a, which is negative 2, times c, which isn't, it's not this c, it's, wait. Am I plugging this in for some reason? Y equals some number. Oh, Christ. Am I plugging that in? So it's like 1/2 c. That would make sense. Equals, yeah, okay, that would make sense. Equals negative 2x squared plus 9x. So 0 equals negative 2x squared plus 9x minus 1/2 c. That's the number. Oh, and this, okay, that makes sense because C is conveniently named C, and this is a number, so C is negative 1/2 C. And that is 0, and now I get to solve for C. Okay, so it's 81 plus 81, God. These negatives cancel, these 2's cancel, and it's plus 4c equals 0. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Positive 8 minus 4c. Always double check that shit. Negative 4 times negative 2. Positive 8. Positive 8 times negative 1/2 is negative 4. There's the c. That equals 0. All right. This is getting messy, but negative 4c equals 80, negative 81. So 4c is 81. C equals 81 over 4, which, I mean, I could just write that. 81 over 4. And the idea is that we can double check this, and I have 10 whole ass minutes, so I might as well. Let's do this in Desmos. C is apparently 81 over 4. So y equals 1/2 c, that line, should be y equals 1 over, sorry, y equals 81 over 8. So let's graph that. Y equals 81 over 8. We're going to graph that for funsies. And that's this. Okay. And then this parabola is just given us this equation. So it's y equals negative 2x squared plus 9x. Yeah, cool. And so these two are going to intersect at exactly one point. And that point is that point is 2.25, 2.25, 10.125. Y equals 1/2 c. So when y equals shit. Oh, no, okay, this is proof of concept that they do intersect at exactly one point when it's here. So that works out. You know, I could be getting this question wrong. But maybe we'll loop all the way back around to it, because here I'm done and it's going to say, check your work. So I will check my work. Jay is walking 3 miles an hour and runs 5 miles an hour. He walks for some number of hours and runs for another number of hours, for a combined total of 14 miles. 5 miles per hour times 2 hours is 10 miles. Miles. Which equation represents this equation? 3 miles an hour times, I mean, yeah, this is right. Why would it be 1/12? It wouldn't make sense. All right, so that one's fine. 6. Man, so these student-produced response directions need to shut the hell up. Collapse left. Hold on. There's a shortcut for this. Command Control L. No, 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 no. Because I just want these to shut up. All right. Table summarizes the distribution of color and shape. So 100 titles of equal area. If one of these is selected at random, what's the probability of selecting a red one? Well, it's one of them, 100, and a red tile. There are 30 of those, 3 out of 10. Yep. What's the y-intercept of the graph? Oh, yeah, this one I feel solid on. Where y is g of x. We graphed it and it looked like 11. And then also, anything to the 0th is 1. So 11 times 1 is 1. The y-intercept is at 0, 11. All right, yeah, I mean, so far, I should ace this section. Like, if I get one wrong, there's no good excuse. Do I want to just do this again? I mean, you know, I feel good about this. We're just going to redo it, though. Notice I'm not reusing my work from previously. Partially because I don't feel like I would be able to if I used a scratch paper, and partially because what if I'm an idiot and I do something wrong? Circumference. Do we want to say 2 pi r? No. C equals 144 pi. And if this is x, if this is x, this is 2x. This is also 2x. This is x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6x is all the way around. That's 144 pi. And then, you know, I'm just going to do this math in my head. Well, 12 times 12 is 144, you know, so like 24 pi. Yeah, okay. So, wait. Yeah. X is 24 pi, but we're not asking for x. We're asking for length of arc QR, so that's 48 pi. Yeah. Yeah, no, that one feels solid. The length is it's way longer than it is wide. They're not asking for the width, they're asking for the length. And that's 19. I feel confident on that. Maybe we can double check some of these values. No additional posits or withdrawals. I mean, this is just wrong though. We're not gonna fucking square it. 602 squared is ridiculous. 604, like 605 squared, like no. This is going to the total amount in the account. Yeah, they could have fucked with us by saying the amount of like earnings that she had, but they didn't. So this is wrong. This is the wrong. I mean, again, it's not going to get multiplied by 605 times every year. 14. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to just graph this in Desmos. That's the like. I have a lot of time way of double checking this. Y equals x plus 20. But you know, the reasoning is any two lines that aren't parallel to each other will intersect at one and only one point. That's like, what is it? That's one of Euclid. That's one of the like fundamental Euclid. It's one of the fundamental axioms of Euclidean geometry. Hey, look at this one point right there, and they're not going to intersect anymore. I don't want to like go too far, but yeah. At how many points do they intersect? These two fucking lines. They intersect at 1, not 0, not 8. Let's check the reference. Did I screw this up? Pi r squared h. diameter of 8 inches. So it's not, is that even an answer choice? But it's, 4, the radius is 4, and the height is 12. 4 squared, 16. That times 12. I'm going to use my calculator. 192. Pi r squared. H. 192 pi. Great. All right. Man, are there any ones I actually need to go over? What's the value of y? Maybe I could just double check that I actually, oh yeah, I know what I'll do. Is I will plug, I'm really going to take the time to do that. I'm going to plug -2 in for both. No. I'll maybe come back to 18. 20. See, get out of here. It is facing up, so the vertex is the minimum. The x-coordinate of the vertex is at 6.25. Why? What happens when we plug 6.25 in? 4 times 6.25 squared minus 50 times 6.25. What should happen? This should give us the y value of the vertex. So negative b over 2a. Why does that work? I know that you can like think about it, like you start with the quadratic formula and then you like, there's a clever reason, maybe it's because of factor form or something. And I can't remember why that negative b over 2a thing works. And it was just literally like a lucky guess. It's just fortunate that I had a number of times. Okay, so the sample and this practice test both require the negative b over 2a trick and the directrix trick, which actually warrants coming back to. Was it one after the other? Yeah. Yeah, so this one, I mean, I'm running out of time here, so it's parallel. Oh, this isn't that one. 8 times 3 is sure is 24 though, so. Okay, fucking home stretch. 35 minutes, 22 questions, and these are hard ones. So I still want to book it. Okay. (16x squared plus 9x). Just combine these. Okay. Gotta be liberal with what you mark. 828 out of 900. 92%. 92% are silver. Of those beads, that many are silver. Yep. (3t). Am I just going to solve for t? Yes. 6t minus 20 plus t equals 40 plus 4t. Just don't fuck this up. 7t minus 20, 40 plus 4t. Minus 4 from both sides. 3t. Add 20 to both sides. Oh shit, I'm lagging. Oh god, my pencil's lagging. Plus 20 to both sides. This is 60. Oh god, my fucking tablet's lagging. Oh no. Oh god, this is terrible. T equals shit. 60 over 7. 60 over 7. Oh god, okay, we're gonna have to figure that shit out. 60 over 7. Oh, ho, ho. 3t. It's back. 60 over 7, so 3t equals, 180 over 7. Is that like an actual thing? 180 over 7? well, that's terrible. But it's 182%. And then, okay, and so the idea here is like, I'm gonna mark this because like of that lag shit, it could easily fuck something up. We need x plus 4. U substitution. So, we're gonna say U is, that's what x plus 4 is, that's our standard. So it's 5U equals 4U plus 29. U is 29. Boom! That's a trick right there, baby. All right, neighborhood. A 2-hectare park and a 35-hectare residential area. Trees in the neighborhood is this. So it's trees. Equation 2. It's like trees per hectare in the park times 2 hectares is the number of trees in the park. Trees per hectare in the residential neighborhood times 35 hectares is the number of trees in the residential area. So it's trees per hectare in the park of X park. Trees per hectare in the park, not trees per hectare in the residential area, not trees in the park. Trees in the park times 2. No, trees. Yeah, right. Okay. Shit. Okay, so if it's 35 to 10, width goes up by 7. Length needs to go up by 7 times 35 over 10, which is 3.5, which is probably is 24.5. 7, this is redundant, 24.5. For a certain vector, the ratio of the length to width, the width goes up. How much the length change to maintain the ratio? It needs to maintain the ratio. So width is going up, length needs to go up by 24.5 units. A lot of ups and downs going on, that's why I'm marking it. In the given equation relates to numbers p and n, where n is not equal. N in terms of, hey, isolating quantities. N in terms of p, right? P equals 9 plus 14 over n. P minus 9 equals 14 over n. N equals 14 over p minus 9. 14. I'll just, I'm going to go faster. So this is from the old SAT 2. We're going to divide this by 6. Dividing top and bottom by 6. That's how we got here. That's how we got this x. 42 divided by 6 is 7. Yeah, you don't want to set them equal to each other. Circle equations. The radius is 4. What's the value of k? Right, okay. So it has the same center. That's why this is the same. The radius of circle B is 2 times the radius of circle A. The radius of circle A is 2, because this is 4, this is the radius squared. Do they give that to you? No, they don't. You need to know that. So the radius of circle A is 2. The radius of circle B is twice that. It's 4. The K is going to be 4 squared, so it's 16. You know, pretty confident about that too, but yeah, so what's going to happen is he's going to buy 81 shares times the amount of money that each share costs times 1.07, and that's going to equal 14,000 before sales tax. Yeah, this is the price before sales tax could pay based on this budget. Cool. Okay, so we're just going to do some calculating. 14,000. Let's divide by 81 first. Order doesn't matter here. That's terrible. And then we're going to divide. Ugh! I'm just not good with. Oh, well, we'll do this. Is that? I mean, I'm just shitty with this. I'm not like accustomed to the syntax here. But yeah, I mean, x equals 14,000 over 81 times 1.07. Yeah, so it's 161.53 is what x is. And let's just make sure it's actually the right thing. Total budget to spend on these chairs, 7. Close to maximum possible price per chair before sales tax. It's like this, and then you're buying that many chairs, and then you're adding sales tax, and then you get to 14,000. That's right. A possible value of x. These graphs intersect. I've never done this before. Negative 11 plus 341. $165. Like, can I factor this? Is that like a thing? 165 is gonna be like, when I'm too lazy to factor, plus 4x minus 165. $11. 15. So it's 15 times 11. So now I just want to double check this. I'm being too thorough. I could plug it in. This is a good sign. I didn't fuck that up. Positive 15 plus minus. Positive 15 minus 11. That's how you get positive 4x. Plus. We're plus 8x. I feel pretty confident about it. I need to go faster. I'm less than halfway done, and oh no, actually I'm doing fine. Am I doing fine? How many solutions does this have? Negative 90. Negative 90. Plus 150. Add 90 to both sides. 150x equals 150x. Infinitely many. That's another one. We just do it again to double check it. The vertex is halfway between the two x-intercepts. So what's the distance between negative 17 fourths? You know, it's like negative 17 fourths, which is, that's like 4 and a fourth. Oh, that's actually really helpful. This is 4 and a fourth, because 16 fourths is 4. So it's negative 4 and a fourth, and then it needs to go over to negative 3, and then it's going to go from there the same amount to our answer, which is to say it's going to travel. How many fourths does it need to travel? Negative 3 is 12 fourths. This is 5 fourths. It's going to go up by 5 fourths. Right? Because fucking 4 times 3 is 12? Yeah, right? Yes. Okay. We're going to go up 5 fourths, and we're going to go up another 5 fourths. So it's going to be negative 7 fourths. Because 5. Great. Negative 7 fourths. There's that. Fantastic. Not positive. It's not super, this is crazy. Okay. This is another one, like maybe we do it again. To double check the graph of this is shown. Which equation defines the function f? Oh. F of x plus, this is what it looks like when you add 14 to our function. So our function has a slope of negative, it has a negative slope. Okay, these all have negative slopes. Okay, so I don't need to worry about the slope. You know, but ours is 14 lower, so it's at negative 12. That is shown. F is 14 lower than that. So it's not at negative 14 because it didn't start at 0, and it's not at positive 16 because it's not going up. And I don't know why. Oh, and this is the graph of y. So that's wrong too. Great. What am I doing? Question 15. This is another one. The directrix needs to be positive. That is to say, b squared minus 4ac needs to be greater than 0. And we know what a and c are, so b squared minus 4a is 64, c is 25. 25 times 64, that times 4, and that's negative So it's minus 6400. B squared needs to be greater. B squared needs to be greater than 6400. Needs to be a really big number. In fact, the biggest number will win here. Oh, right, but it could be a big negative number, like, because I bet 40 won't do it, right? 40 squared is not big enough, but, and it should actually be that 80 squared isn't big enough either. Negative 80 squared is not quite big enough, and I feel confident that negative 91 is big enough. I don't need to review that. Okay. How many questions left? 8 questions left, 17 minutes, a little more than 2 minutes. I'm ahead. Whoa. But, well, okay. But we know we have the whole equation, so we're kind of fine, right? We're just going to go 2y equals negative 7x minus 31, and then we're going to go y equals negative 7 halves x minus the 31 over 2. So the y-intercept, so b is negative 31 over 2. The x-intercept, when y is 0, 0 equals negative 7 halves x minus 31 over 2. We could usefully just multiply both sides by 2. 31 equals negative 7x plus 31. Plus 31, this I'm going to say it's the same. So this is negative 31 over 7 is x. So b over a, negative 31 over 2, I'm going to do this without a calculator, just for funsies, b divided by a, which is negative 31 over 7, is going to equal, so it's this times that, these are going to cancel, the negative signs are going to cancel, there's going to be 2 block 2, and we're going to do 7 over 2. Lots of negative signs. I hate these instructions, bro. No solution. Parallel. Same slope. Okay, find the slope of this one. 4y plus 2. No, fuck, yeah. Man, I make this mistake way too often. All right, let's just not be stupid. Minus 16y. Subtracting 10. Subtract 4, minus 4x plus 2. Negative 16. So this is 1 over 4x. And this doesn't matter, but it's negative 1/8. The slope is 1 over 4. Okay. So for this one, ty equals 2x plus 1/2. We're going to divide by t. 2 over t. And this is the slope. We don't need to go further than that. So 2 over t equals 1 over 4. T equals 8. There's just a lot of these I like just kind of want to do twice. Like, man, the chances that I miss one or more of these, not because it's new, but because I made a careless error, is really high. Isosceles right triangle has a hypotenuse of length 58. What is the perimeter in inches of the triangle? Yeah, okay, so this is a special triangle. Isosceles right. Here's a right angle. Can I do it? Yeah. And it's isosceles. Which is to say that, oh my fucking god, I'm lagging again. Hypotenuse, this is 58. And the idea is that this is root 2 over 2, and this is root 2 over 2, and this is 1. So how does that work out? If this is 58, then this is 58 root 2 over 2. Yeah, is that right? Root 2 over 2 and 1. I'm just going to double check the reference sheet because it does have info on this. 45, 45, 90 triangle. It's an isosceles right triangle. If these are sides, this is the side times root 2. So it would be the side divided by root 2. So this is right. Root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, and 1. Okay, so it's going to be the perimeter in inches of the triangle is 58 root 2 over 2 plus 58 root 2 over 2, which is 58 root 2, plus 58. Yeah, it's half of this and half of that is the whole of that, 58 root 2 plus 58, because of this. The perimeter in inches, inches, inches. Great. Yeah, and you don't add the 58s together. You're not going to do that. That would be wrong. Because, yeah, 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 isn't 2 over 2. It's 1. Math. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 questions left. 11 minutes. I'm getting more and more ahead on time. So we just need to find the equation of this function. It has a y-intercept. No, it has an x-intercept of 0. Okay, so we're going to go y equals ax plus b. We're going to plug 2 of these points in. The first point we're going to plug in is 0 equals a times 2 ax plus b. Right. Right. 0 equals 2a plus b. Oh, we're going to have to substitute. And then we're also going to plug in, let's do 1 and 64. So we're also going to plug in, let's do it down here, negative 64, that's y, equals a times 1 plus b. We need to solve for one in terms of the other, so let's just say that b equals negative 2a. Is that right? Negative b equals 2a, b equals negative 2a. And then we'll put that in here. Negative 64 equals a minus 2a. Negative 64 equals negative a. A is 64. Now what's b? Well, b is negative 2 times 64, which it's 128, you know, but don't let's be 64 times 2. It's 128. Okay. Negative. It's negative 128. Negative 128. Okay, b is negative 128. And now we're doing a minus b. Just so many people are going to get this wrong because of negative reasons. 64 minus negative 128 is 64 plus 128, which is 192. But let's just say 128 plus 64, 192. Okay, a lot of negatives in this one too. Data set A is 10 numbers and they're all less than 60. This list shows 9 of the numbers. And they're all whole numbers. The mean of these 9 is 42. Just okay. The mean of data set A is an integer that's greater than 42. Is an integer that's greater than 42. It's an integer. Whew. Interesting. So this shit divided by 9, now that's 42 exactly. And that shit plus our boy divided by 10, now that's, let's say 43, for example. This is a little rough. Which is to say that this shit plus x is 430. And we need to figure out the sum of all of those. We actually need to figure out the sum of all those things. Do we? I think so. 43 plus 45 plus 44 plus 43 plus 38 plus 39 plus 40 plus 46 plus 40. 378. 43, 45, 44, 43, 38, 39, 40, 46, 43, 78. Okay, 430. 430 minus 378 is an integer? It is, it's 52. So x is 52. So that was like kind of a risk, you know, we're just like gonna guess that the integer is 43. I think it has to be 43 because they need to be lower than 60. These integers need to be lower than 60. I feel good about that. The first 25 people are $21 each, which is going to be a constant. 21 times 25. Man, I'm so burnt out right now. 525. And then, so it's going to be this one. It's going to be 525. It's fucking, come on, man. Whoa. It's going to be 14. Shit. Okay, 14 for each additional person. We need to add on the difference between 21 and 14, which is 7. So it's 25 times 7. Ooh, that was spicy. 25 times 7 is 175. It's that. That's the difference. Oof, that's fucked up. 14 for each additional. And then for the first 25 people, it's 7 more bucks. And that's 155 bucks. Shit, man, that's rough. I might have gotten that wrong. Man, there are a lot that I might have gotten wrong, and I'm running low. And these triangles, these have a measure 60 degrees. I'm gonna need to draw this. Ooh, wow. All right, this is new. L, M, I'm hoping these are right triangles. L, M, N, R, S, T, 60 degrees. LN is 10, RT is 30. A side, one of these sides being 3 times more than that. M, N, and ST. Yeah, that would work. Okay, okay. My fucking mic died, so that's no good. Um, maybe I was a little too liberal, because I actually don't think I have a very good use for my extra time. You know, it's 2 minutes. Where am I most likely to have fucked up? Man, I'm kind of just gonna have to count on. I don't have enough time to. Okay, I'm just gonna do what I can. 3t. I could have done this better. 2, 3t minus 10 equals 40 plus 3t. And we're going to divide by 2. 3t minus 10 equals 20 plus. Okay, not great. 6 halves. 6. 6 halves minus 3 halves is 3 halves. T equals 30. 3t equals shit 60. Whoa. Ah, 3t 40. Divide both sides by 2. 3t minus 10, 20, 3 halves. Minus 3 halves. 3 is 6 halves. 6 halves minus 3 halves is 3 halves. 3 halves t is 30. 3t is 60. Oh, ooh, I hope that's right. Man, that's interesting. I wonder what I did last time. That was section, that was question 3. It was this? Was this? Oh! Oh, wow. Oh, I missed this. Look at that. Wait. No. 6t minus 20. Oh, so it was 2, 3t minus 10, I think. Equals 40 plus 4t. No, yeah, I think it was that. So it's 6t minus 20 plus t. Yeah. So it's, oh shit. This is the one where oh no, this is the one where the thing died. 3t is 60. Wow, okay. So I was like struggling with that. What did I do? Did I think it was 7? I divided this by 7. 60 over 7. Whew, wow, I'm glad I caught that. Although, okay, I kind of want to say uh, it's because my goddamn tablet was dying. Okay, well, let's see. We're gonna. Let's give some feedback. The Desmos calculator has a bug where unless you're zoomed in to exactly 100%, you can't click any goddamn buttons with the mouse. Plenty of other bugs too, but you know. Yeah, let's view my score. Okay, pulled up a browser tab in my other window here, so I'm gonna pull this over. Go sign in. I guess this is my, look at all my burner accounts. It's this, and we're gonna use my password. Come on, man. Dude, that experience makes me think that I fucked up other things. Oh! Ouch! What? I missed a bunch. I must have missed a bunch. What did I miss? Why did I do better on math than reading and writing? Oh, crazy. Ugh. All right. So 1560. Wow. Two incorrect answers. One in reading and writing and one in math knocked me down that far. Eh, interesting. All right. I swear to God, if it's the one, if it's fucking this one, bruh. Ugh. I think, yeah, okay. Um, mm, we're gonna combine this. I'm not gonna split this into two different videos. There's not that much to review. I'm gonna do my review right now. Um, okay, this question is an interesting one. So I was going back and forth. I picked D. Uh, I was thinking that it could be A. Maybe I'm glad that it is A because I was complaining about how a bunch of students are probably going to choose A, and so I like overthinked myself out of choosing A. So that's a good lesson. I like that. Man, I'm glad that 1560 isn't like 100 wrong answers. Um, so okay, so you know what I want to do is pull up the question from the sample questions, or yeah, the example question that they gave us there, uh, and just talk about this like comparatively, because where is it here? Yeah. It's this right here. So in this question, the prompt. Oh no, sorry, it's not this question. We're not stating the main purpose. We are doing rhetorical synthesis, which should be toward the end then. Uh, Rhetorical synthesis. Here's rhetorical synthesis. Yeah. Okay. So here we go, right? This is sample question number, we'll do it all the way. Sample question number 12 from there's a PDF of sample questions that they gave out. Um, all right, the prompt is that the student wants to emphasize a similarity between two works. Which choice effectively uses relevant information from the notes to accomplish its goal? Now, rhetorical synthesis questions, all the ones I've seen, have kind of like two major pieces to them. They have a criterion that they're trying to emphasize. We're trying to emphasize a similarity, and specifically a similarity between the two works. That similarity needs to be emphasized. And then you need to use relevant information to do that. And this one's a little broad, but other rhetorical synthesis questions, for example, are maybe a little more particular about what you should do. Well, no, this is the exact same. Okay. Anywho, in this question, B is the right answer for. Let's compare right answers to right answers. In this question, okay, so reviewing the content. There's this Native Hawaiian sculptor. His work has been shown at a bunch of different places. Many of his sculptures feature discarded objects. That's the similarity, the thing that's similar. This one work includes discarded tapes, and the other one includes discarded pushpins and stuff, and they both include discarded things, you know? B is right pretty straightforwardly. Like many of Tubbs's sculptures, both of these things include discarded objects. Ooh, and maybe are they going to say the word? Okay, yeah. This is going to mirror the sentence uses like many of Tubbs's sculptures, and also the word both. These are the things that emphasize the similarity. That's this criterion right here. You need to. Okay, right. So now hopefully you can hear this. If not, I'll just trim.
the rest of this. Okay. Maybe audio is a little bit worse. I'm using my laptop audio now, but right. So in this question, this answer choice is right because it's emphasizing the similarity. It's like really calling attention to like, hey, both of these things include discarded objects. Like, that's this form of the sentence emphasizes the similarity. And D is wrong because, so D says Tubbs completed erasure in 2008 and homegrown in 2009. And that's interesting to me. I mean, it's more obviously wrong because it doesn't point out the same similarity, you know? It's like the similarity that arguably would be the similarity would be a similarity in dates, like 2008 is similar to 2009. So this is like a more clean cut, or like for soft reasons, it's more obviously wrong. But when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. You could make an argument for that what we're doing is pointing out a similarity between these two works. Hey, Tubbs completed erasure in 2008 and homegrown in 2009. You know, here's this similarity between them. You know, the mentioning of it and the due dates being similar. You know, there's an argument for like, well, that's enough to emphasize the similarity. They say no, because there's a difference between simply conveying information about two of the works, the year in which each was completed, and there's a difference between that and establishing a logical relationship between the pieces of information, which in answer choice A they're saying is accomplished by the word both. And like many of Tubbs's sculptures, the word both is what they think is doing the work. And I think that's right. I'm kind of convinced by this here. And now going back, so I went into this question thinking basically along the same lines. We need to emphasize a difference in the origins of the two words. And I was scared that A of 27 of this question was too similar to D of this question, right? In that it just, it's wild. They're saying the word wild, and I'm convinced by that. I agree with that. So I was worried, right? That this, so we're trying to emphasize a difference, and the difference is in their actual origin. I can't pronounce either of these words, but one of them is French and one of them is Greek. I was worried that like A, or like the devil's advocate argument, and the argument that convinced me was, all right, A is, all it does is bring up these two facts that are different, but it doesn't emphasize that difference. No, but that's just wrong. And it's because of the word while. This does this while the other one does that. And that's enough to emphasize the difference. You know, and it maybe seems like I'm nitpicking, but I don't know, man. This was fucking close. I could see it. Them testing, you know, splitting hairs that finely. You need to get this word while. Like here, the word while is present, and here there is no such connecting word, and that's what's wrong. And that's in fact what they're saying. In the explanation to answer choice D, they're recognizing that the year in which each was completed is arguably similar, that there arguably is a similarity. They're saying what's missing is a connecting word, like while or both, which is cool. So it seems like the elements of these rhetorical synthesis questions are, what are you going to need to emphasize? We're emphasizing a similarity or a difference. You need to emphasize the right thing, and you need to be able to identify a word. Words like probably a short list, both, just as with this, as with that, or in contrast to, or whatever. These like basically like transition words, maybe. A slightly different list, but words that establish a logical relationship between the pieces of information. You need to identify one of those words, and you need to do whatever the second criterion is, which is usually, maybe I'm wrong and it's always this. You need to use relevant information from the notes to do it. But I don't know. I remember other ones that were more specific. Anyway, let's look at the right. Or sorry, this is the wrong answer. Why is this wrong? Well, the Scripps National Settlement uses words from diverse linguistic origins. Okay, maybe it's wrong because it's not emphasizing the difference, is just stating the difference. It's saying, hey, this spelling bee uses a bunch of different words. And it's not emphasized. Either that, or it doesn't go into enough detail. Like maybe it doesn't use relevant information in the notes. That feels kind of thin though, because it does use some information from the notes. Alright, so what do they say? They say choice D is incorrect. While the sentence makes a generalization about words used in the Scripps National Spelling Bee, it doesn't emphasize a difference in the words' origins. They are saying, yeah, okay, so, maybe I buy that. I was saying there's two, maybe more than two criteria, and the first that I mentioned was you need to emphasize the right thing. Maybe the direction that they're going there is the thing that you need to emphasize isn't just, well, it's not diversity in general of the linguistic options they're choosing. It's the difference in the origins of these two words that is specifically being emphasized. D is like, oh yeah, they use all sorts of fucking words from different places, like these two. This is a word and this is a different word. Man, I don't really buy that, to be honest. I don't really buy that. That doesn't convince me that well. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, I bet, well, first off, I am convinced that A is right, and it's like, okay, we need to look more for these, like, specific linking words, and so you can recognize the right answer when you see it. And the right answers so far have been, like, bang on the money. But, I don't know, I'm not really convinced that this falls short of emphasizing a difference in these two words. I mean, diverse linguistic origins, such as these two. It, like, technically it could be true to say that you use words from diverse linguistic origins. Like these two French words. And you wouldn't be, like, lying or, I don't know. I don't buy that. Anywho, okay, so enough about that. Big lesson learned here, though. I like this. You really got to hunt for these words. All right, fine. And is that the only one I missed? Well, so, okay, not terrible. I missed a math question. This is news to me. Oh! The very last question. Oh, shit. B is wrong. Side angle side. I mean, I just don't know this math. You really need 3 angles. Let's try to do both sides of this. What was it? Was this? Yeah. It was way at the bottom, right? No, not way at the bottom. Ooh, I really fucking saved myself with this one. I would have done way worse. Did I not do any work? I must have done some work. Wasn't I drawing fucking... Yeah, I was. There we go. Okay. L and R, each 60. This is 10, this is 30. I was kind of assuming they're similar. Sufficient to prove that they're similar. Now, if this is 7 and this is 21, but these two angles are different, I don't know enough about geometry to convince myself wrong. I need the example. But they're saying they're saying that D is right though, so it's enough to know that the measures of angle. This one would make more sense. M and T are 70 and 50, so this is 70 and this is 50. Yeah, and the idea here is yeah, shit. Yeah, it is. I should have done better. Nah, I don't want to blame time for this. Maybe a little bit. I was pretty time pressured. But I don't want to blame time for this. This is ignorance. I looked at the 70 and 60 answers choice C, and I satisfied with that, and then I just dismissed D out of hand. Anywho, it doesn't matter what angle is which, as long as they have 3 angles that correspond to one another, they're similar triangles. So D being correct makes sense. Why is A incorrect? If measures of 2 sides in one triangle are proportional to the corresponding sides in another triangle, and the included angles are congruent, triangles similar, however the 2 sides given are not proportional. And B. The angle given is not included between the proportional sides. I thought it was. MN. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, like side angle side. But it's not like angle side doesn't work. Right. They were saying B says that this is 7 and that this is 21 and this is 60. Can we screw with that? Yeah, we don't know what this angle is, so we can screw with that angle. We make that angle bigger, and we can make that side bigger, and they're not similar anymore. All right, so the upshot of that is that unlike the old SAT, you actually do need to know what makes triangles similar to each other. I wonder if you need to memorize all the side angle stuff. I mean, I literally haven't thought about that since I took geometry back in the day. So actually, honestly, pretty good that I got this, or that I missed this one rather than luckily getting it right, because otherwise I would have been blind to the necessity of doing this, of learning this. Okay. I missed that one. I'm surprised I didn't miss more. I think that the one that I almost missed, whatever it was, question 3 of the second module, is pretty typical of the way that I miss questions. It's just like a careless, error. And so summing up thoughts, is there going to be a way for me to... No. Man, that's so brutal, man. I missed one question and I'm down to a 770. Come on. I feel like 1600 next test is... Like, from now on, 1600 feels like it should be a goal. Okay. I'm not going to be able to review this test. Am I? View my responses. You have to do it online. Okay. Looking at the test overall, I offered some brief insights or thoughts on this during the break, but the reading and writing, I'm not. The SAT people say that this test is not as time pressured as previous versions of the test. I mean, I don't know if they're... Yeah, no, they do make that claim, and I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. This was plenty tough to do in time. I was taking advantage of the fact that I'm so familiar with the LSAT to run through the reading and writing as quickly as I was. I don't know about the benefit of doing any of these sections backward. Maybe. Probably I'll try it next time just to see what's up. The math was largely the same. There were like a very few new concepts, but for the most part, it was covering the same content as they always have. Notable new concepts are, man, I wish I could actually just breeze through the test. I probably could. Notable new concepts are this one, the one that I missed, and the directrix, and like the negative b over 2a is the x-intercept of the vertex of the parabola. They tested that explicitly. And then they gave this, I mean, I don't know if it's just because of the sample question and this practice test are based on similar things, but like they gave this problem where you've got a line and a parabola that are going to intersect at exactly one point, and that means the directrix needs to be 0. And so you need to like, is it called, I don't think it's called the directrix, it's called the discriminant? Have I been using the word directrix this whole time? Hold on. Stuff b squared minus 4ac, what the fuck is that called? It's called the it's called the discriminant. Alright, I don't know if I've been calling it the directrix the whole time, but whatever. B squared minus 4ac needs to be 0, or when it's when it's more than 0, then there's 2 points of interception, and when it's less, there's 0. They tested that twice. That came up on 2 questions, and it had never been necessary to know that before. There were always pretty easy workarounds. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how I did in terms of my hypotheses. You know, I think I really did bring my like best self to the test. Maybe the math question, the last math question, the one that I missed, is attributable to being tired, running out of time, maybe because I was more tired. You know, I was going through flagging a ton of questions because usually I have a bunch of time left over and I regret not flagging more questions. But actually on the second math module, I was really time pressured. So a takeaway there is that on the second math module, flag fewer questions, so that I have more direction in terms of where to use my extra time. You know, another big takeaway is just the importance. You know, I was like, with 2 minutes left, I was looking at the clock, looking at the huge number of flags that I had out, and just saying, like, you know, I don't have time to do all of this, you know, and I was borderline about to give up. And then I just decided to do what I can. I had this crucial moment at 2 minutes where I decided to do what I can. And that made the difference. I caught one of the 2 questions that I missed in that section. It's huge. I suppose it's the difference between a 790 and a 780. But, you know, one question in the reading and writing threw me down to 770. So it could be the difference between a 790 and a 760 or something. So that's a huge piece of data too. Like, man, use your extra time, all of it, even if it feels kind of pointless, because you never know. Like, just catching a single question is enormous. It's a huge, huge difference. So that's big too. Okay. Other stuff, you know, I did within my hypotheses, and that's kind of fine. Yeah, time pressure is still real, despite what they're saying, especially in Module 2, still super real. And I did indeed get punished on novel math concepts. Yeah. All right, so that's it for this review. Probably next up, I'm just going to take another practice test. I'm just going to take all 4 practice tests and might just do this for all 4 practice tests, you know, for funsies, because it doesn't really cost me much. Anyway, you know, thanks for watching diligently this whole thing. I'm sure that's what you did. You just started at the beginning and pressed play, you know, and watched this whole thing. Thanks for doing that. I really appreciate that. And now I'm going to go, you know, dissociate from reality for a long time, because this was a terrible experience. Later!